We are good to go.
Here we go.
Can you believe?
No.
Listen, the bottom line too is the Elusive Dick finally made it someplace, which we worked
Elusive Dick is being born.
today. So I think, listen, let's start the easiest way, which is how do we begin? How did our friendship start? We started because of our children. We met at school. Little did we know dating would even be a part of this whole conversation because I was already in a relationship. And so my relationship ended after 10 years. And that's how Barbara and I ended up talking about dating, which is how this whole concept came about, right?
Yes. So many funny stories. Le Pen quotidien.
So in our situation, we kind of both went back into the dating pool differently. I came after 10 years and she just avoided the dating pool. So she wanted to not be in the dating pool and I was shoving her into the dating pool.
I took a 3-year hiatus from my last long-term boyfriend to, as I would jokingly tell everyone, I was dating myself.
Yes.
And it was weird at first, but then I really loved it.
Yes. But then when did you really love it is when I gave you the advice of
drop your age range
drop
on the
your
apps.
And so dropping the age gave us choices.
A lot of choices that I didn't know were even feasible or would exist. And then suddenly it was a whole other world.
It was. And when you look at it, in our situation, I'll be honest, I'm 62 years old. I didn't expect to date a 35-year-old, but I thought, what the hell, let me try. And I did. And you didn't expect to date a 35-year-old.
No, not at age 55. If anyone would have told me that, I would have said, you're nuts.
Right. And in our situation, a lot of our married friends also gave us the advice of either one, why are you dating at all?
Yes.
2, why are you dating someone my son's age?
Oh,
3,
yes.
why are you not dating your own age?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what we went through. So you go through this initial time period of thinking like, I shouldn't touch a 35-year-old. That's a bad thing. But in the end, it was actually a fun thing. And the best part about it is we could come back and talk to each other about our 35-year-old's experience and really hash it out.
Yeah.
So little did these gentlemen know that they were actually going to be a part of a podcast.
Yeah.
And so just so you understand, we will not be using their names to protect their innocence. However, we will use their job description as a way
to identify who's who.
Because
there are quite a few.
Yes, because when we get on the phone,
straight.
we talk names, but at least in this situation, we'll talk jobs.
Mm-hmm. Mostly
jobs.
Yes.
So that's really how the Elusive Dick came about. And also it had a lot of extra meetings, which is elusive for us was maybe you would end up talking to a guy and actually believe you were going to go on a date, but then 2 seconds later, 3 minutes before the date, they'd cancel.
Mm-hmm.
How many men who we suspected possibly of maybe being married or something going on, that they would just drop off the face of the earth. Or 2, we had men that had a lot of performance anxiety, which is they talked a big game, but when it came down to push comes to shove, they couldn't produce.
Yes, so to speak. Even some of the younger ones, even when you mentioned doing this, they were suddenly like, oh my gosh.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's how we started to realize that we had choices. We had choices either really not dating at all, or we could have a younger dating pond and enjoy that pond while we were in it, or we could try to look for the one. And the one found to be elusive. And we thought, if we stay alone just for the one, we could be waiting 100 years and actually lose our libido.
Well, that's just it. And at our age, we're not getting any younger, clearly. And if we're able to date younger now, why don't we take the opportunity and enjoy? Because I don't know if there's another one.
Right.
Maybe there's not, which is fine.
I'm
still looking.
We're still looking.
It's not like we're only dating young people. I have the range from 35 to 65. I'm really looking. But my age, not so much.
No.
So
at least we found that the 30-ish, 40-ish gentlemen actually made a date. they called and
Yeah.
wanted to make a date, whatever their date was, whether it was just going for coffee or for drinks, for sex. It was on the table pretty quickly what they wanted or what we both agreed to.
Right.
And the older gentleman, or more our age, was the one who was hemming and hawing, trying to ask more
Yeah.
questions, trying to ask, what was your life like? What do you want to be when you grow up? It was just ridiculous. We were like, how many weeks do you need to like put me through the paces in order to just go for coffee? Like, I don't understand what the problem is. And two, don't you want to have company? And I think that was what was really shocking, is that the world has changed, whereas men don't really understand that women want to go back to real dating. Like, want to go for a romantic walk, a cup of coffee.
Yes.
Nothing too fancy, but at least something. But who wants to be on the internet 24 hours a day texting back?
Constantly.
And I kind of came through. So for us, what we do is, I think we probably have weekly talks, pretty much.
At least. Yeah.
If something is really hot that's happened, we're on the phone really quickly with each other. But on days, in general, we kind of do a weekly recap of like what's happened in the world of dating. And we're usually on opposite end of the spectrum. So usually if she's busy,
The
I'm
feast
not.
or famine
Feast or
effect.
famine.
And we always seem to be, so it's good because then one person gets to talk and share and the other one's like, okay, well, my turn will be coming.
That's right. And also when one of us is a little on the blue side, then the other person kind of helps with that sort of situation.
Brings the hilarity of it all.
So I think, so that's what you can expect. You can expect a lot of conversation from us. The stories are going to be endless because so far our dating life has been endless as far as what's been going on. We have definitely people in the pipeline who want to come on and talk and tell their stories of all ages. I've found that people are interested in doing that. And so we're going to just hash it out. It's not a down on men. We're actually trying to hope that men will listen to the conversation and find ways to improve on performance.
Yeah.
In many ways.
In many ways, yes. Even just follow through is a very simple one. Yes.
So we definitely are enjoying sampling the neighborhood.
Yeah. Yes.
And anyway, so we haven't had our weekly call. So this week,
right. Yes, we have
we have to catch up on some stories. And so Barbara definitely has to catch us up on where she's been.
Yes, it's been a good week. And this is a perfect case in point of the younger gentleman making a plan and sticking through it. I started chatting with, we're going to call him Jazz Guy.
Okay.
So he's a jazz musician and composer. And we started chatting on Monday morning of this week. He was saying, oh, he's going out of town starting tomorrow, and said, but I'm playing a gig on the Upper West Side tonight. I said, oh, I live pretty close to there. Where are you playing? And he named some venue I'd never even heard of, this tiny place. And he goes, I said, well, I'd love to come hear you play. I said, and he said, I'll see if there's tickets. And he said, all right, well, I can meet you at 5, like after rehearsal and before the show, or afterward at 10. I said, okay, well, I have to work, so I'll see you afterward. And then he just texted, all right, but if I have a break, I'll come find you. And lo and behold, he came and found me on the break. Well, first of all, he is adorable, cute, total showman, reminds me of like a young Harry Connick Jr. The voice, the charisma, showman on stage with the trumpet. I'm just like, oh, God.
Sexy.
Very sexy. And I was like, oh, I hope he finds me during his, break from the trumpet. And then he did and sat there. And it was just so easy. He had the best vibe and energy. In fact, I think on the app, it was Hinge, I liked his picture first because his profile was authentic. And one of the pictures was of him like this on the trumpet. And he wrote, this is me most nights of the week or something like that. And that's literally true. Like, that's what he does. And it was so authentic. And I wrote, you have good vibes written all over you. And he wrote back, he said, well, thank you. I feel like you have good vibes too. So anyway, that's how it started. And in person, that's how he appeared. Nice. And it was just what you see is what you get. And
and that's an A for quick follow through.
And quick follow through, same day, like 12 hours later. Yeah. And then we went for a drink after, and he had rode one of these big motorized scooters, like they're almost like a Vespa, but they're scooters. And he had, he's like, I could take you home if you want. I said, sure. So I hop on the front of this thing with no help. Maybe not. I should have thought a little more, but it was just so fun and I didn't care and there was no traffic. And he drove me home. And then I said, I'd invite you up, but my roommate is home, my 20-year-old son who is living at home with me. And he's like, oh, that's too bad. And we made out in front of my building at like midnight. And it was so good. And then he said, well, you can come to my place, except my friend is staying with me on the couch. He's like, but I have, my own room. I said, all right, let's go. Up the scooter to, uptown. It was fabulous. So much fun.
And did he get a second shot?
The whole fun. He definitely gets a second shot. In fact, he released an album and said I could take one when I was leaving. And I forgot. And so I texted him when I got home. I said, jazz guy, I did not get my album. So he said, next time. So yes, hopefully when he comes back from his European tour.
Well, that's a good one.
Wasn't that a good one?
Listen, that's an A for quick.
Quick, authenticity, fun. No, nothing weird. Just pure fun.
Enjoying the moment, which is a good thing.
Exactly. Enjoying the moment. And then last night was the complete opposite.
Why?
Last night was a date with the publisher. He's 61. And we had a phone date before I went on vacation like a month ago, which was okay. He seemed a little blah, but I don't know, fine. Anyway, so this was our date. I wasn't even going to go out with him, but he texted like twice and then I feel bad. I said, all right, fine. Maybe he's better in person. Well, go with your gut.
But what was it like though? Like, yes, you couldn't have a conversation?
No. So we met at a place that I suggested and he was there first and said, the bar is too crowded. There are no seats, and was walking out of the restaurant. And that's when I was walking in. So I said, oh, okay. And he seemed a little flustered. So even right there, I'm just like, it's not a big deal. Like, I said, okay, fine. Let's go find someplace else. And he's just like, I don't really know this area. I said, oh, let's just start walking and just see what we come across. And right across the street was a little Italian place. And guess what? They could seat us at the bar. So that was fine. And he just did not have much confidence.
At 61, that's interesting.
That's what I mean. Like, that blows my mind. If you're not confident or have interesting things to talk about. He was all about, oh, tell me about your trip you had to Greece. Oh, and then you went upstate to Woodstock. Oh, you're traveling so much, blah, blah, blah. And so I was telling him, I'm talking about all about my trip, how fun it was. And I say to him, do you have any travel plans coming up? Or is there some place like you're really dying to go that you hope to get to soon? His response was, well, no, not really that I can think of. I'm like, not one place? Not like.
But what did his profile say? That's what I think is interesting, because a lot of it also too is what's written on the profile and what's in real life is two different things. Like a lot of them are saying, I want to have fun, I want to do this, I want to do that. But at the end of the day, that's not really who they are.
Right.
So I wish the profile would be more in line with.
Right. Like I was saying with the jazz, like it was authentic. Like what you see is what you get. To be honest, I don't remember exactly what his profile said. I don't know.
But it's funny, like we don't go, I think as women, we don't go with our gut. Because a lot of times you kind of, when it starts to peter out and you almost think like, why should I really go on this date? You're not that exciting. It's like, I think we end up being too nice. Like we kind of
Well, that's
feel
what
like,
it was.
Why, yeah. And then it's like, it never works.
Because we did the phone date before my vacation. And then I got back and I was just like, like whatever. It didn't wow me. But then he followed up twice, like, oh, hey, if you want, like, let's go out. And then I felt bad, which I got to stop doing that.
Yeah, I think.
Who has time for that? At least he paid.
Well, that's better than remember the one that you went on a date with who actually picked the restaurant and then complained about the price of the drinks?
Oh.
Which is like even more humorous because it's like you picked it.
Oh, yes. If we're talking about them by their jobs, he's unemployed at 61. He was also 60 or 61. Yes, came in from New Jersey, which great, snaps. He picked the place, some champagne bar. Okay, champagne is not cheap, and it's New York City, by the way. So he was interesting, but definitely maybe it's because he's unemployed and his confidence was faltering, but he had a really cool job, like a documentary filmmaker. It was really interesting. But then, yeah, and the bill came.
But see, I think a lot of it is that men don't have good guy friends. Like if they had a good guy,
Yeah.
like we have a relationship, I think that someone could tell them the honest to God's truth about how to do this dating sort of thing.
Yeah, maybe. I
think that they
he was
miss out
kind of
on-
new to it. But
I mean,
then
how could
to
you
your-
be new to the dating at 61? Like it's got to be somewhere in your memory bank somewhere.
apparently not. But no, but to your point, when the bill came, and well, you tell me not to, but on a first date, I always offer
No,
to split the
I
bill.
am not offering to split. I am not offering.
Okay, we differ on that, but that's okay.
It's like, to me, man up and move on. Like it's if I ask you out, that's a whole different story.
Okay.
But if you ask me out, then I'm sorry, you have to man up.
Well, I get it, but for me, it's also like a little test. Like I'm offering, and I am happy to pay my way, but they should say, at least on the first date, no, it's fine. I got this. Thank you for offering.
Yeah.
That's what I want to hear. However, with unemployed, when the check came and he opens it up and he's looking, scrutinizing it, which, okay, fine, make sure you're charged appropriately. He goes, oh, those 2 extra glasses we got at the end were really expensive.
I guess the date drink ratio was not enough. Like
I guess not. And then I offered to split and he gladly accepted. Oh, and then he was taking the train back from Penn Station to New Jersey and it was literally pouring rain and did not bring an umbrella. And guess who walked him with her umbrella? See, maybe I'm too nice. I don't know.
That was generous of you.
It was, I thought, but after paying for my expensive champagne.
I mean, listen, it's fascinating when you go through that. But listen, let's also talk about the fact that you went to Greece, and we didn't talk about your Greece trip.
Oh, we did not do a deep dive yet.
We did not do it. Yeah, Greece was also a trip she's wanted to go on, and we ended up going with a gentleman we call Seal.
Yes, I went with the Seal.
A Navy SEAL, by the way, very sexy topic.
Yes,
It's a sexy industry, I should say.
yes,
right?
yes. That like
how
jazz,
many-
like how many jazz musicians
Right,
are
it's sexy.
going out
We'll
with?
give him that.
How many Navy SEALs are you going
Right.
out with? So, but yes, it's thanks to you that I actually went on this trip because he was the one that I met before I even went on the apps last year. Met him the old-fashioned way at a friend's wedding, who she met her husband online. So it can happen. I'm all about, yes, it can happen. But we met at her wedding. He was a friend of the groom. I was just like, oh my gosh, this guy is amazing. I got a little excited thinking, oh, maybe this is the one. So anyway,
He was perfect in a lot of ways. Like,
he was perfect in a lot of ways.
We all like Seal.
We like Seal. So nice. But I just don't think wants a committed, serious relationship, at least not at this point. Anyway, so I was still kind of falling for him, and he's not reciprocating the way that I wanted. Had invited me to the conference to meet him there, which was just a few weeks ago, but he invited me a long time ago. And by early summer, I was just kind of not feeling it. I was feeling bad. I'm just confused,
Because you liked him.
because I really liked him. And he would say things like, oh, I want you to meet my mother. But then I hadn't seen him since January. He travels all the time. Like, you can't stop in New York and say hi, yet you want me to meet your mother. I don't know. It was just too confusing. It was like a mind fuck. So I just said, it was really nice meeting you. I think we want different things. I got all weird.
And you didn't consult me, by the way.
And I did not consult her. Okay. Lesson learned. So a month after I sent that text, we were out for dinner and she's like, what's up with the Seal? And I said, well, I sent this text. And she's like, what the hell did you do that for? Well, okay. And to be fair, it was only like a month before that you told me the whole drop your age range. And then
She
these
was in
30-year-olds. And I was like in heaven. I was like, oh my gosh, okay. So I need to listen to her more often. So she said, what? Go to Greece. Why wouldn't you go to Greece? And I was like, yeah, why am I not going to Greece? I said, but what am I going to say? I'm going to look like a crazy woman. She's like, just take your phone out. And so at dinner, we literally took it out.
we crafted a response.
You said something. What did you say? Like, say, 2025, I just want to have fun experiences and different travel, go to
Enjoy
different
myself.
places and enjoy myself. Are you still up for a travel
That's
partner?
right.
So that's exactly what I wrote.
And he responded in how much time?
No, he usually takes a very long time to respond because we don't know where he is and what he's doing. He responded
Like
like less than 24 hours. I'm so glad you texted. Yes, I'd love to have a travel partner. So yes, so we just went like a month ago.
See?
And I framed it completely differently in my mind. Like, this is just for fun.
But you were dressed to kill, which was important.
I was dressed to kill.
Yeah.
I put a lot of effort. Oh my God, if men knew what women. But yes, there was a lot of prep before that and dressed to kill. But we had the best time. He's a great guy. We get along well. We traveled well, but that's just what it is.
Yeah, he unfortunately has issues.
Yes, I think so. That's the thing also with the men of our age group. If they have not dealt with their issues, then it rolls over into all these relationships that if they try to have now. I have found.
Yeah, I think it's in general both men and women have the same problem, but we're experiencing it from the men that they're just not. Either the COVID put them back in some sort of way where they're not able to kind of remember what dating is like and what that they want, comfort of a relationship. I think that's what we're always fascinated on is kind of like, don't you want a hug or cuddle? Like, don't you want that sort of experience? Apparently not.
Not everyone. No.
So,
no, it's true.
And I don't think that men have the resources to go to some therapy. I don't think they know to go.
Well, I think it takes a certain level of self-awareness that not everyone, either people, and for men and women, but we're speaking from our experiences with men, that they don't have that self-awareness or they're just not willing, or they have the awareness but are not willing to put in.
Yeah, but it's also, we are finding it very much our age bracket.
Yes.
In the 50s and 60s, we're really finding the fact that the majority of men that we run into are not interested or fully committing into any sort of relationship. They're kind of just either testing the waters, looking for a pen pal.
Yes, a lot of
looking for 3-second sexual moments, or ghosting you, one or the other. That's out there. And so it's really been kind of weird. Whereas we are clearly finding that the 30-year-old and the 40-year-old guy, he may not want a traditional relationship with you, but he'll be honest and say he wants a relationship and it's configured in this sort of a direction.
Yeah. No, they seem pretty open and about, right. I mean, the 30 whatever year olds are not looking for a relationship with us, but they're very open and honest about why they are dating older women.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the Cialis actor?
Oh, Cialis, that's remember Cialis?
Remember
the commercial Cialis.
The commercial Cialis. It's very apropos given this podcast. He was one of the early ones when I was still looking, my appropriate age. Who says what's appropriate? That's blown out of the water now. But anyway, he was 65, which was way at the top. I'm just like, okay. But he was so cute.
He was really handsome.
Really handsome. Had a really nice voice. He was smart and geographically located well. All the things. So we go on the first date, and it was fine. It was very, really fun. He was a little stiff, but interesting, very gentlemanly. We go on another date. By the third date, he's walking me home. And remember this?
Telling you.
He says, I hope it's okay if we take this slowly. I had I had a hug on the first date, which is totally fine. I mean, I don't need to jump into bed with somebody right away. And this is why I was hoping maybe this could be something, not just some sexual encounter. And so that's fine. But the second date was also
a peck on the cheek. Remember?
A peck on the cheek. He walked me home, very gentlemanly, nice. And I'm like, okay, the third date for sure. And this was early on. It's like I hadn't kissed anyone in a really long time. I'm like, can I just get like a good kiss? So I was hoping, okay, third date, he walks me home and says, I hope it's okay if we take this slowly. I'm thinking in my head, I don't think you can take it much slower. But I was like, yeah, that's fine, He wasn't even holding my hand. And then we get to my door. I'm like, well, here I am. And he's like, okay. And like leans in and gives me the most awkward kiss on my cheek. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
good night.
And that was Mr. Cialis, who was so cute looking.
So good.
What a disappointment.
Okay, all right. Oh, never been married at age 65. Okay, fine. Longest relationship he ever had was 7 months in his entire life.
Oh.
So there you go. Clearly there's something going on there.
Which is why the age range was adjusted, right?
Yes.
Because
Thank you
65.
again. Oh God, so many stories. And what about, well, let's hear some of yours. You've had quite the bouts of feasts.
Feasts. I mean, interesting for me in the beginning, I kind of ran into extremely young, like right out of the bat, or clearly married. Like,
But wait, can we back up? Did you start out with your age range really young and we just had never discussed it?
yes.
Okay. See, I don't know where I was. I hadn't gotten the memo.
And let me just give you some history on that one. So my first big relationship, I was married and he passed away, similar to you.
Yeah.
My second longest relationship just ended a year ago, whenever I was like 10 years with someone. And so I had remembered dating when I had started with the second one. And it was interesting. I was working with a business guy and I had gotten approached by a 30-something-year-old. And I was like, kind of like sheepish. I was like, what do you want with me? Leave me alone, sort of thing. So I was joking with a friend of mine at one of the brokerage houses in New York City. And I said to him, I got approached by this 30-something-year-old guy. It's so weird. And he was like, Marjorie, like, go out with him. And I was like, no, it's so weird. He's like, Marjorie, you'd fuck me, wouldn't you? And I was like, no, actually, no.
As a matter of
I was
fact.
like, as a matter of fact, no, I never thought about you in that way. But should I think about it?
Now you're changing the way you think.
So anyway, I thought to myself, okay, this is fine. So I actually texted the guy and I said, do me a favor. I'm up on, I was at 46th Street. And I said, I'm going to be heading home. Do me a favor. You're on Madison and like he was in the 60s. I'm like, can you go outside and let me drive by? So I drive by and I see him standing on the street and I look at him. I'm like, well, you don't look 35. Because I guess the world of finance kind of aged him a little bit.
It does that.
I felt he kind of looked in his 40s, so it wasn't so bad. I'm like,
Okay.
I'll date you.
You made him do a drive-by so you could have a look. Wait, I never heard this. Good for
A
you.
lot of stories,
There's so many.
So when after 10 years, I got thrown back into the market, which is nothing I expected to be.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
So I didn't expect to get back on the market. So now here I am. So I'm like, okay, been there, done that, know that 30-something-year pond.
Okay.
But I'm saying to myself, gee, Marjorie, you're 60 years old. Are you freaking kidding me? Nobody wants a 60-year-old woman. And that's kind of how I looked at it. But when I put the age thing on, I thought, well, I'll try.
Yeah.
And boom, boom, boom. It was like 35 Central. I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. So
The 35 is like the lucky number.
So I was right. Was my first. Oh, we shouldn't say, but anyway, we'll say because he'll never know who he is. Anyway, he was an advertising guy, and so he wanted to take me to lunch. So I went to lunch with. He took me to Rosa Mexicana. We had a very nice lunch. He was a perfect gentleman. He walked me back to the office. It was very cute, and then he asked me out again for the next couple of dates, which was fine. So lo and behold, we must have had about 4 or 5 dates, and then it was time we decided we would get together. And
together.
Excuse me. And so we were going to meet in my house in City Island, and he did not show up. He ghosted me. He ghosted me, and I was like, "This is so bizarre." So anyway, a couple of weeks go by and I get a text from him and he's like, I'm so sorry, and apologizing endlessly. He's like, it's not you. And I'm like, okay, well, what's the story?
Yeah, what's up?
He was like, performance anxiety. He was
From a
little,
35-year-old.
from a 30.
The elusive.
Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it?
I know when you told me that, I was like, what?
I was like, you know, and it runs the gamut because in my mind, like just with us, right? You'd say performance anxiety, meaning, okay, he's just afraid to have sex with an older woman. Is that really
Right.
what
Is
it
that
is?
what it is?
Anyway, so we chitter chattered for another couple of weeks and he decided he could man up. And so I said, you know what? I'll give you a shot at the apple.
You get a second shot, my friend.
And so we arranged our shot. Well, let me tell you, I know exactly why he had performance anxiety. And it wasn't performance in this general sense. It was size. Size is what threw him off.
Size matters.
And you know what? That's the truth. Whenever we want to tell the truth about this, men will believe that we lie to them all the time about it. But you know what? Size matters. And itty bitty really freaking matters.
Yes.
And it's unappealing. So I'm really sorry for him, otherwise known as the advertising guy, who will bleep out his name.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But I mean,
he was very sweet. He was very sweet, and he really meant well.
but I have a question.
yeah.
Okay. Yes, size matters, but there are other things that one can be good at.
He could not do that.
Any of that.
He was completely frozen in this. I knew his size was a problem, but it was a problem for him. Like,
Yes.
you know, like one of the things like in Girl Scouts, you could always make something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Right? Think
Yes.
about that.
Yes, you could. That's what I mean. Then explore your other talents.
That's right.
And what else you could practice and become
no,
good
there's
at.
no shame in the game. There was nothing said in the bed. I was very, you know, it was
course
like a
you
typical
were.
mother, like rah,
Mother.
rah, rah.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's fine.
okay, it's
we can work with this.
Yeah.
In the back of my head, I'm going,
Oh God.
but anyway. So that was that. So
But then you had with the Navy guy.
oh, Navy is for well,
Well, we have to follow it up with like a happy
yes,
young,
a happy story.
happy young guy story.
Yes, we have the Navy guy.
There's a theme here with the Navy.
Yes,
Clear.
definitely. I definitely like the Navy. I out of all of the military so far, the Navy.
I mean, we still need to explore the other branches, but we'll get to that.
I'm
sure
probably
at some
slightly
point.
biased in certain areas, but I would say the Navy. And it's interesting to learn about the Navy because, I mean,
We've learned a lot about the Navy.
well, shockingly, it was interesting to find out that the Navy doesn't have enough money to repair its ships,
Oh,
which was shocking, to be honest with you. But anyway,
as a
putting that-
taxpayer who pays a lot of
As a
taxes,
taxpayer.
we would hope our ships would be repaired.
But boy, did we have so the Navy guy was actually a guy from Queens, but was living in
Shout out to
Florida,
Queens.
living in Florida.
Uh-huh.
And
On the ship.
He's so cute and so nice and
We love
very
Navy
well
guy.
built and stuff like
Very
that.
well. And did not have
He
any
had,
performance
he had no
issues.
performance anxiety and actually was a repeat on demand, that's a bonus.
And actually requested certain things.
Requested. Yeah.
Which is fun, like, go shopping, dress up, certain fun things,
Yes, he
they
definitely-
haven't done in a while.
He scripted what he wanted, which was exciting.
So
and
fun.
And he performed. Yes, he performed. And he consistently performs and he also keeps in touch.
And
which
keeps
is
in touch.
which we love the Navy on that situation.
We love the Navy is adorable. We love.
Yeah, she has a fireman. I have a Navy.
Oh yeah. Oh, that was another early one. Wait, they were about the same time,
Yes.
right? You're a Navy guy and my fireman.
Your fireman is more geographically desirable.
Well,
My Navy guy is out to sea way too
this
much.
is true. Well, for sure. But he's going to become more geographically desirable because the fireman who lives, well, whatever, he works in the city, but he's been on the boats, the fire boats, which I learned a lot about the fire boats. So he's been out in the Hudson River and they go off from Staten Island or something. Anyway, not geographically desirable. So, and his hours, not great. Like he gets off at midnight. Like
No,
the
but
first
he's-
time
but-
we
but-
met, remember? We
but
met
he's
at
adorable.
12:30.
Right.
Oh, yeah. But now he told me in December, he will be at the firehouse, which is literally 10 blocks from me.
Perfect.
So he said, you'll be seeing a lot more of me, as I hope so.
Fire on demand.
Now he is also good vibes. He and Jazz
He's
Jazz
happy.
guy,
He's
just
happy.
happy, go live your life. Like he's on a trip right now. He's like, "Oh, I banked all my, PTO, left for a month, India, Sri Lanka by himself. Bye, adios, going to jump out of airplanes and stuff." I'm like, "This is amazing." And the guy last night, "I don't know where I want to go." I'm like, "What?" I don't know. I need somebody to like match my energy.
Well, I think that's what we were talking about the other day, just about the fact that we need to live our own lives and design the life that we want to live.
You said that the other day.
And I
Love
think
that.
that's the same thing with some of these situations that we've gotten. It's like, you know what? We really enjoy that moment. It's what's wrong with that? And it's funny because
Right.
we have married friends
Mm-hmm.
who I think find us amusing
Oh, very amusing.
for the most part. And then there's a few of them that are a little persnickety and kind of like,
Judgmental.
why are you doing this sort of thing?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why not? Why not have joy and enjoy
Yeah,
yourself?
why not? We're not hurting anyone.
No.
I mean, they're legal age. They're grown adults. 35 is a grown adult.
No, but they say things like to us like, my son is 35, and you're like, but I'm not dating your son.
Yeah,
Like,
don't-
so
don't
why are
worry.
you talking about that?
Yeah.
That's not an option.
It's neither here nor there. Right.
Yeah,
Age is just a number.
for sure.